All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Conference. Walsh along with Chris Mueller tonight. Hey, Chris, we got controversy in the Walsh household tonight. You know, I don't know about you, but I thought I was doing a good deed today, doing a good thing. I unloaded the dishwasher before I came into work today, then loaded it with dirty dishes, right? This is what we do sometimes when we're home. I'm sure you've done that. Well, I put Yetis in the dishwasher, and I get yelled at. It's like a huge deal. I didn't know that. Am I wrong? I put everything in the dishwasher because it's a dishwasher, right? All dishes. Anything you eat with, you drink with, should go in the dishwasher. I get yelled at for putting pots and pans in there, too. Why? Why can't we put everything in the dishwasher?
You are lucky right now that you are even left in working condition tonight. You were right to be yelled at for putting Yetis in the dishwasher. You're probably the person that puts really good quality, like, chef's knives in the dishwasher, too.
Yeah, pots and pans. We got good pots. I put those in there. I didn't know that this was a thing. I just always put stuff in the dishwasher. Never heard anything before.
Richie.
What?
Richie, don't do that. Let me help you. As a guy who loves to cook, as a guy who was raised sort of in the art of which dishes get to be done in the dishwasher and which dishes you need to show, like, some sort of hand washing care. Yeah. If it looks like a nice pot or pan, hand wash it. If it looks like a really nice expensive chef's knife, hand wash it. If it is a Yeti or any other brand thing, by the way, nice that you've got the Yetis, very nice. If it's any other brand thing like that, wash it by hand. I do this literally 10 times a day because we have 70 million of those Yeti or Yeti adjacent things. I wash them by hand, Richie. You are in the wrong. I don't even regret to inform you that you're wrong because I feel like I'm doing you a favor here.
You are. I guess Kelly's right here. I have to say I'm sorry. I didn't realize that this was a thing.
Kelly, I am so sorry.
Kelly,
you've probably heard you're a saint. You've probably heard it many times. People say you are a saint for putting up with Richie, all his golfing exploits with Pomp. Kelly, you are a saint for not strangling this man when he tried to wash the Yetis in the dishwasher.
You know what? After today, I don't think I'm ever using the dishwasher again. I'm just going to wash everything by hand, period. Because I don't know what goes in there, what doesn't now.
Richie, you know what you might have done well here, though? You might have pulled the ultimate guy trick. It's the oldest trick in the book. It's on page 1 of the Dude Hacks playbook. When you're asked to do something, do it so poorly the first time that you never get asked to do it again. You might actually be ahead of the game.
I can't do laundry anymore.
Yeah, that's the classic one.
Not allowed to do that.
Then maybe you are the visionary that we all need, and maybe you're actually playing 5-dimensional chess here.
All right, let's go out to our Bordas and Bordas hotline for our number one Cochran call of the night. We got Champion out in Penn Hills. Obviously, Penn Hills guy. We got to get him on the show. I'm a Penn Hills guy. Aaron Donald's a Penn Hills guy. What's up, Champion?
Great way to go. And on behalf of all bachelors everywhere, we don't have that problem.
Well, I bet you're using your dishwasher. You put everything in it. I used to.
And that's not why I call. Listen, I just want to offer this. And being a Penn Hills guy and a former Penn Hills football player and a Pitt grad, I love Aaron Donald. I'm proud of all that he's accomplished. Joe Green is the greatest defensive player of all time, followed by Lawrence Taylor. You would probably be hard-pressed to find many arguments against that. I've even been around sports personalities in this city that proclaim Joe Green possibly the greatest football player of all time, and I'm not exaggerating. Call me a guy.
But what city are you in, Champion?
He's in Penn Hills.
I mean, you're in Pittsburgh. You're in Pittsburgh. Of course people are going to say things about Joe Green that exaggerate him slightly. Like if you went to New York, you'd probably hear that LT is the greatest football player of all time, offense or defense. I mean, I'll put Aaron Donald with anybody.
That might be true if all the sports polls and all the recognitions about Joe Green weren't proclaimed all over the country. So it's not just coming from Pittsburgh or Penn Hills. It's recognized.
But on those Champion, on those NFL top 100 lists, Taylor consistently, I think every time when they do a top 100 players ever, Taylor ranks ahead of him.
I've seen plenty of lists where Joe Green ranks ahead of Taylor. And it depends on the list. I'm only calling to offer my opinion.
Yeah.
But the point that you make, Aaron Donald's a great football player, deserves all that he can get. But Joe Green, at an era when football was brutal versus the level that they play at now, which is watered down. Well, I'll admit, I'm giving Joe Green the nod as greatest player of all time. And many a coach have had to change their offensive schemes because of Lawrence Taylor.
All right, thanks a lot, champion. I really appreciate you calling from Penn Hills. Look, I didn't really get the opportunity to watch Joe Green in person. Obviously, we see highlights of him. Lawrence Taylor, I caught the tail end of his career. Unbelievable player, no question about it. An impact player, changed the game. He's definitely in the conversation of the best defensive player ever. I think Aaron Donald is in the conversation, no question about it, Chris. I don't know if he's the best defensive player or the best football player ever. I think the best football player ever might go to Tom Brady, but that's another story. So, but he is definitely the best defensive player in the game right now, and I don't think that is debatable. I don't think there's an argument with that.
He could win Defensive Player of the Year every year, and it would be deserved. He has 7 straight first-team All-Pros. The only time he didn't make an All-Pro team was his rookie year, when all he did was win Defensive Rookie of the Year. The guy, if he plays let's say he plays 3 more seasons, I am willing to bet he ends with 10 straight first-team All-Pro nods. You can go look it up. Nobody's done it. Nobody has done 10 in a row. He is playing in an era at, 6'1", 285 or so. So actually smaller in some ways than Joe Green. He is playing in the era of the freakishly strong, freakishly big offensive lineman, and he is routinely not just beating, obliterating double and triple teams every single play. Teams don't even try to single him up because if you do, the play is an automatic bust for the offense. I'm sorry, all due respect, I didn't see Joe Green play live. I only caught the tail end of Taylor's career. But I've seen plenty of highlights and game tape of both. I think Donald's better.
All right, let's go out to Skip and Hopewell. How you doing, Skip?
All right, guys. I watch your show all the time.
Thanks.
My big thing is nobody is worth that kind of money. I don't care if you're playing football. I don't care if you're playing baseball. Baseball definitely in Pittsburgh. Any professional sport. These guys are not worth that kind of money. I know you devote your life to it. You can have injuries, everything else. A young kid gave stem cells to my sister that saved her from cancer. You want to give somebody money, that's the kid that gets the money.
All right, Skip, I get what you're saying here. I mean, it is a lot of money. But look, the NFL makes a ton of money. Obviously, they have the money to give that kind of money to someone. And the league, it just took off. I mean, the money, the contracts are outrageous. But if you can get it, I don't blame anyone for getting as much money as they can, right?
The players are the product here.
Yeah.
The players are the labor. The players are not even just the labor. They are the product. They make the NFL. I will say every single day from now until I'm in the grave that if you're going to make a comment like nobody's worth that money, which is the same as essentially saying nobody's earned the money, that kind of money, those players earn what they get way more than any of the people whose names are on the front of the check.
Yeah, that's a good point there because they're the stars. They're the stars of the NFL.
They are the product. The
NFL, front office.
Richie, everyone says that the owners get to call the shots here. The owners wouldn't have a product if they didn't have the players, period. It's not like the players are they're not making widgets. They are the product.
Yeah, and look, Chris, I don't mind the NFL and NHL and even NBA, sign these kind of deals because there's a salary cap. And they have to usually
the NFL, the deals aren't even guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I just never, ever, ever hear when a team cuts a player that they, in the NFL, on a non-guaranteed deal, because very few of them are fully guaranteed, enough so that we mention the ones that are as outliers. I never hear people saying anything about how cruel it was to the player that they were cut loose. Oh, you're not good enough anymore, and the team cut you? Peace. Not even thinking about you. It's just always that they say that they're never worth the money they're actually being paid.
I just don't mind it because it's an even playing field throughout the NFL. Unlike baseball, when you see Garrett Cole get $30+ million, it's not fair because the Pirates can't compete with that.
Wasn't that what the free market's going to pay him here, though? If we're all about that, if the market's going to pay Mike Trout $40 million a year, good for Mike Trout.
You're right. But, it's if you're a Pirates fan, you hate to see that because Bob Nutting's never going to pay $40 million because they say they can't afford it. That's why baseball needs a change. We talk about this over and over again. Baseball needs a change. It's a Major League Baseball fault more than it's a Pirates fault, but it's both. All right, we got to take a break. Back with more of your phone calls, some of your tweets coming up next. Stay right there. Bye.